So the next speaker is Nick Spanos, and I actually feeling honored to present him because I remember that from my early blockchain journey, when I was attending the conferences and when I was learning a lot about this industry, Nick Spanos' presentation was actually at the time the best, and I still consider him one of the best experts in the industry. So he is the founder of a Blockchain Center NYC. He is a visionary and philosopher in the industry, inventor and researcher. And Nick, do you need to upload the presentation? If you have any issues with that, I can help you with. And you're muted.
Yeah, where do I upload it? I put it in here. I have to log in to upload it? No.
No. You can upload it. You can just on the bottom of the screen you have the screen with the plus. So you have microphone.
Okay,
yeah. That's where you upload.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me, and I commend you for all the work you do, and especially trying to help Ukraine at the moment. It's a very difficult task, and I think, of course, it's a challenge, and using our technology is a big challenge these days, because using it in the right way, because a lot of people like to use the words and the terminology and the nomenclature of the technology, but not actually the technology. They want to get away with as much centralized things as they can, and to get out of the box faster, and that's not really a turn on for me. I think being in this platform, it's good. It's good for everybody. Let's see if I can do this. So thank you, Sergey, for having me. I hit the plus sign. So what do I have? I have a PDF, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, PDF works, yes.
So I just dropped the PDF in there?
Yeah. You select it from, I mean, if it is on Google Drive, you select it on Google Drive or from your device, and yeah, I will put it on the stage, on our virtual stage.
I put it in there. Did you see it?
No, I don't see it.
Uh-oh.
You can send it to me through Messenger, and I will quickly upload it. I'm already familiar with how to do this. So
I think I have to log in. It's not letting me. That's why. I have to be a member of this backyard, whatever it's called, barnyard.
No. You're like this. All other speakers.
Yeah, I just sent it. I sent it to you.
Yeah,
where? On the WhatsApp. Yeah. Oh, WhatsApp. Shit, hold on.
Right, 1 second. WhatsApp. I don't see WhatsApp. Signal maybe. Yeah, but no, now I see WhatsApp. All right. Give me a few minutes.
All right.
Well, maybe not a few minutes.
I can introduce myself.
Yes,
I'm Nick
please.
Spanos. I'm a technologist. Back in 1978, I built a Heathkit computer, because you couldn't buy one in the store. You had to build it with a soldering iron, but it was a kit, so it wasn't that. It was difficult, but not for me. I think I was a kid, 13. I'm pretty old right now. I'm 60 years old, and I've been in technology the whole time. I've been through the earliest digital scarcity, when the domain names came out. I bought a bunch of them, like 12,000 of them. I was very excited.
Yes.
I was very excited about digital scarcity, and I did a lot of political science, data science. I was one of the first. I sold campaign management software. I would sell labels and lists, because nobody had a computer, so we would print lists and the labels that they put on their mailers, and I'd cull it out in the different demographics and stuff. Early Cambridge Analytica. But so
Very famous case.
yeah, it was like in the 80s, and I just tried to figure out any way I could make money, with a computer, which was pretty difficult. It wasn't difficult. It was, I don't know, maybe it was difficult, but I was a kid. I didn't have any backing. My mother wasn't on IBM's board like Bill Gates' mom, and then he got to sell it. So, I mean, my parents didn't speak English. So, it's been a long trip. I'm a libertarian. I worked for Dr. Ron Paul, and Dr. Ron Paul always spoke about competing currencies and things of that nature. So that brought us into digital currencies, and then Bitcoin. And so I opened that. I was senior advisor on 5 U.S. presidential races. And
that's very impressive.
Yeah. Well, I did many things. I put the 2016 Iowa caucus on the Bitcoin blockchain. I have a patent on blockchain voting, paper ballot, blockchain voting. I invented the multi-branch blockchain. I have a patent on that. I don't know. I've done a lot. So I opened the Bitcoin Center back in 2013 because the same people that didn't want the libertarian to win were the same people who didn't want Bitcoin. And I can't even find our screen now. I don't have my glasses. I'm messed up. I got it right here. So I opened a Bitcoin Center. That was the first.
If you need help, the presentation is on the screen, and if you need help for turning the slides, I already did that for Paul Brody from EY, so I am happy to help you as well in the same way.
Well, good. We're huge technologists here. We need help. And so, yeah, I opened the Bitcoin Center, which was the first live cryptocurrency exchange right next to the New York Stock Exchange, right on the ground floor. In 2013, they made a movie called Banking on Bitcoin, which, immortalized its existence and its creation. And I just thought that, at the time, Bitcoin was getting a bum rap. And, oh, my God. I didn't get cut off, did I? Hello?
Yes. You're here, yeah.
Yeah. So at the time, Bitcoin was getting a bum rap, meaning it was getting very bad publicity. And I got angry. I said, I went down to the stock exchange and I tried to rent a booth in the stock exchange, but then they didn't, they laughed me out of there, as a matter of fact. Now they're begging me to show up at their events. And, but that was 2012. So then I started selling Bitcoin in the street outside of the stock exchange. And then I opened up right next door. It was 6,000 square feet. Many people from all walks of life came by and became part of it. And we had an incredible ecosystem where many companies that you see today were launched out of there, many coins that are still alive, many technologies. And there it is. I just found it. And what happened is these guys made laws against us, but it's not the first time they made a law against a business that I created. I created in the early 90s. I had a apartment information vendor. They created a license for that. So what happened was people would buy a subscription, and I had these fax servers, and I would fax people listings of available apartments because I'd written real estate software, and then I went into the real estate business because I saw how much money they were making. I go, I can do that. And then anyway, it's a long story, but I was the general manager of Webster Hall, the largest nightclub in the world, when I was 26. But that was because I was in politics and they couldn't get their license, and I got their license, and then they wanted me to run the place because they were pig farmers from Canada. You could do fact checks on all this. I don't know what kind of life I've had compared to everyone else, but I never say no, I think. And this is what happens when you never say no. You got to learn how to say no, guys.
Well, by the way, by trying a lot, you're learning a lot. And yeah, I remember your presentations about, about starting things earlier, and kind of forecasting the trends before the trends were appearing. And before,
Sure. I built nomorehotels.com. And that was the first Airbnb. And then getaroom.com. And livery cab. That was in 95. I built nomorehotels.com. And it was very difficult to get a merchant account. And I finally got a merchant account with these guys from Brighton Beach that used to work for Chase. And then on 9/11, when everyone stopped their credit card because no one could fly anywhere for 3 weeks, they wiped out my bank account. I didn't read the fine print, but we were doing really well. We had about 60,000 vacation rentals around the world and 90 people working for me, or all around. I had offices, and right here, I'm in Buenos Aires right now. I had an office here back then. I had one in Florence and Via Andrea di Buonaiuto. I had one in Athens. I had one in London. I had one in Paris. I had more units in Paris than Hilton did. That was one of our, whatever. Anyway, that was 1995. That was way before the smartphone. Got wiped out on 9/11. That's what happened. I got wiped out on 9/11, and if I'd waited for and then I sold it, but if I'd waited for the smartphone, everything would be different. Before, everyone had to go to the kiosk, the internet kiosk, to try to find a place. So that was very difficult. And so that's one place where I got really pissed off at the money business on the internet, on transactions on the internet back in 2001. And because after all that, I lost so much money. I went and filled out all the papers with the government, and they gave me a loan for $40,000 when I was losing like $200,000 net a month. They gave me a loan for $40,000. So the government isn't going to save you, and and the merchant banks are not going to save you. You got to save yourself. And then I built the livery cab, but it was before anyone had a smartphone. And I never raised any money, really. I just used my own, burned my own money. So then I think Uber came around and bought everyone a smartphone. And then I was out of the picture. But I have no regrets. Then I opened the Bitcoin Center 2013. And it was the first live cryptocurrency exchange. And you got to keep going. I mean, everyone falls down. I don't know if we have people that want to be entrepreneurs in the audience, but the main thing is, like Sergey said, you got to get back up. Then you keep going. I mean, that's life. You learn and you keep going. So I'm here. I'm learning from you guys. And I don't know, what's this? Empower. Am I supposed to talk about Ukraine, or should I have the AI whip me up another deck in a few seconds while I'm talking to you?
Well, yeah. Yes, we are in a sense, yeah. We how to say this? Ukraine is in this position. That's we gotta keep going, and we have to actually keep going to the better future, since there is no there is no other way how we will return to what has been in the past. So it is, for us, it is only one path and the path forward. And we would like to listen your inputs on this, because I am certain that it will be a good presentation. The stage is yours, please.
So the slide is what this? That's Leave Studio. I go to the next one. I don't know. There's a bunch of numbers here. There's a lot of things, a lot of money going in there. No one believes where it's going, and there's all kinds of rumors and politics involved. Maybe nothing's being stolen, but you never know, because anyone could say anything. And that's pretty much what our world has been. Our world has been, the guy with the biggest bullhorn wins. So right now, the biggest bullhorn should be transparency, and especially when it's other people's money. You go to the next slide. Yeah, I mean, we can raise funds. We can make bonds. We can float crypto bonds. I think that's probably one of the best ways. And people can invest in a certain return to build up the infrastructure. And maybe let's say, hey, we're building a highway. There's going to be a toll. You guys help pay for the highway, and as the toll gets paid, it automatically gets distributed into a smart contract. You guys pull it out of the smart contract whenever you want, or it could even get sent to you. I don't know. There's so many ways to skin a cat. I mean, in the past, they used I forgot what it was called, but they would print, a bunch of money, and they used it in, the rebuilding of Germany and these other countries. It's the name of someone. I should remember that, but I don't remember. But anyway, it's just a way to create fiat and lend it to a place that can't pay it back. I mean, the IMF does it all day, right? They give loans to these countries. Then you got to hire their contractors, and then they want you to pass all these laws that, depending on the current administration, maybe they want, your kid to, at 5 years old, to decide which gender the kid is. And stuff. They've done that. They've tried to impose that. It all depends on who's in power at the time. And it's a little weird. So imposing your ideologies to lend money that isn't real or scarce is strange to me. Sounds like voodoo to me personally. So, with smart contracts and digital scarcity and, provability in the blockchain, we could crowdfund and crowdsource the buildup of a country, and many countries, but I think Ukraine is the one that's ready, willing, and able to go. And I think because of all accusations about corruption, this is the best thing that should happen. We go to the next slide. Sure. I mean, there are many different ways than gimmicks or promotions or marketing to be able to excite people, to generate donations. People buy trees, for carbon credits. You could buy a tree, you got your name hanging on the tree. I don't know how they do that, but they say, a number, road J 412, JJJ 412, that's my tree. So the same way things can be. So when a church gets a donation, when they're rebuilding a church, say, oh, I want to buy, you can buy maybe the window, the stained glass window, and you got to give them $10,000, and then you get the, donated by such and such family. So it's sort of the same thing, where people get their name up in lights and make that a motivator. We did it with Ron Paul. We did these money bombs, which we called the money bombs, where we did the fundraising. And what happened was, in the past, it was very difficult to do fundraising. We went and got it passed that you can allow PayPal in 2007 to be used for political fundraising. They'll allow anything really fast. You'll see a vote like that go through in like 10 days because, they'll say yes to any fundraising mechanism that helps them because they're always raising money. So in the Congress, right? So we did something called a money bomb, and the gimmick was, remember the 5th of November, right? You had that movie, the Guy Fawkes movie. I forget what it's called, but it was remember the 5th of November, and everyone is going to donate on the 5th of November a certain amount of money, so it all comes in the same day, and it becomes like hopefully a record breaker. So the record was like $800,000 raised in one day back then. So, and we put up this website where when you donated, the name popped up. The name would pop up that, oh, I donated. It didn't say how much. It just said the person's name. And like, oh, look, and people would take that screenshot and post it on their Facebook. And it became very viral. If we still use that word, it became viral because people saw, hell, look, his name is up, and let me go to that site, and someone else would donate, and then they take a screenshot of their name going up, and they put it on their Facebook, and it became very viral. And we also spooled the donation, so you say, yeah, I'm going to donate this on such and such a day, so it became queued for the charge to go on your credit card or your PayPal on that day. So on that day, when the record used to be $800,000, became $4.3 million we raised in one day. And, the whole political world freaked out because they've never seen anything like that before. Obama tried one, and they had all the backers and all that. All the people, you saw the big giant crowds, blah, 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 but he only raised $2,800 compared to our $4.3 million. He raised $2,800, $2,800. We raised $4.3 million. And then Obama started following me on Twitter after that. But then we did, so you need the gimmick. We had a date. Another date was the anniversary of the Tea Party, where we raised $6.03 million on that day. And those were the money bombs. And I think it was very, very important to have a gimmick like that with a certain day, and where people would, show and to their friends. So I think if you're doing fundraising, that would be a great thing. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah, we know all this. This is a blockchain. Next slide. Oh, yeah, fast cross-border transactions. But, all the KYC business might slow it down a little. But, what are you going to do? So, crisis zone accessibility. I built something where there was someone that said he was giving out food to people. I frankly didn't believe him. So we built this ad hoc network because no one had internet there. And so people needed a QR code. And he goes, oh, but not everyone has the phone charge. Not everyone has this. I don't care. Whoever does, and we'll try to figure out the numbers from there. And then the guy was pretty much outed because he wasn't doing what he was saying. So in the crisis zone, you can use many things. You can use the words. I remember Fresh Day was paying. She started a code to inspire out of the Bitcoin Center, where she paid she was a professor, a computer science professor in Afghanistan, and she had female coders, and she would pay them in Bitcoin. So, you can you can create maybe brain wallets to give it to them, give them 12 words. You could pay people. My thing would be, since it's such a, they don't have devices and stuff, I would give them an allocation in something stable, maybe with words, so they could just give their words, and that's the money, And if it's spent, then it's spent, and they can get that every day, or a bunch of them, and then they can pay out with pieces of paper. They don't need a phone, or they don't need anything. I think that would be a way to go in places where they don't have electricity or phones or whatever, but maybe one person has, right? The person that's distributing the food or whatever. So that's one thing to do. Let's go to the next slide. Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't put the tax revenue there. All right. So yeah, we can attract global investments, of course. And the more transparent you are, of course, the more people that are going to want to invest in your infrastructure, in your power plant, in your activities in your country. So I think it's very important to reach out for global investment, but in a transparent fashion. I think the old ways, if we don't eat our own dog food, then I was in a meeting the other day, and all these people that are supposedly in the industry, and they were fighting me that they wanted to use LLCs and this and that. And I said, well, shouldn't this be a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization? They didn't even know. I don't even think they had a MetaMask wallet. These guys, a Web3 wallet. Because when I was talking about it, all I came up with, they just came up with the rebuttals or something. So I said, oh, okay, well, how could it be good? How, and then I came under the understanding that they don't understand the technology. And so we have to make sure that it's something that's explained simply. And, the train has been invented. We got to get everyone off the donkey. I mean, that's the reality. A lot of people like the donkey. The donkey's warm. They know the donkey. They want to stay on the donkey. It's our job to inspire them to get on the train, and the train is this new technology that we've been blessed with, and it's our job to push it through and make sure that everyone actually gets to use the technology. Because otherwise, if we don't use this technology to free us, right? If we don't use the decentralized, transparent blockchain, maybe proof of work, hopefully, proof of stake, whatever, hybrid. If we don't use that blockchain, they're going to use, the powers that be are going to use something they call blockchain that's going to be some data silo that you can't get in, and they're going to use it to imprison. If we don't use the open, transparent blockchain to free ourselves and help the world, they're going to use the closed fucking data silos. They're going to call it blockchain, and they're going to imprison and enslave us and encumber us with it. And it's going to be the slow, comfortable screw and then they're gonna put the screws in. I mean, right now I have people in Tanzania. The election, those election shenanigans, and the incumbent turned off the internet for like 3 weeks. Now it's like sporadic internet. If you don't use a VPN, you can't get to anything. So if you just turn on your internet in Tanzania, you can't get to Facebook, you can't get to WhatsApp, you can't get to Insta, you can't get to anything except for like the government website and stuff like that. So I think we have to make sure that when these things happen, we have to help as technologists. We have to help these people because these are test beds for the powers that be. They're looking very carefully at what's occurring around the world and how humans are reacting to the oppression. They want to see exactly how oppressible we are. You know, in Nigeria, they came out with the e-Naira during the election, and I don't know who did it, but someone bountied. They throttled the ATMs to only allow $20 a week worth of regular Naira, so everyone would try to adopt the central bank digital currency called e-Naira to go into effect, you know. So people burnt all the ATMs over there, and then they stopped. It was during the election, and it looked like, you know, the incumbent was going to lose because he was part of the e-Naira, and then you know, they did an about face on that. But I think all eyes were on that, and all eyes are on whenever a country gets their internet shut down. They saw it happen with Discord and winning that revolution, and then you know, these guys in Tanzania shut down the internet. So, you know, it's our job, I think, as technologists to help people around the world stay connected and have a lifeline to the rest of the world. And I don't know how we got to that from global investment, but you have to invest your time and energy to make sure everything works well. And the stablecoin integration is very interesting. People could buy bonds in the Ukrainian stablecoin, like Trump saved the dollar with the Stablecoin Act because no one else was buying our bonds, our T-bills. So all of a sudden he said, well, and Mika fucked up. Oh, I cursed. Mika screwed up by saying only banks can make a stable coin. Because now, I mean, a bank doesn't even have the technology to make a stable coin. You know, they're going to start interviewing people. Everyone's going to lie to them and, you know, whatever. But in the States, anyone can make a stable coin. You just got to, you know, just got to deposit. If you want to make $1 million worth of stable coin, you got to deposit $1 million into a bank and have it audited once a month. So that was pretty smart of Trump to do, because now the law, you know, even before, the largest purchaser of treasury bills is Tether. So he's saving the dollar using the stablecoin. So do I believe in stablecoin? I wouldn't call it stablecoin. I'd call it, you know, dollar pegged coin, because there's nothing stable about the dollar. But, you know, the technology was used to save the US dollar, which, you know, I don't know if I want to see it saved, but for a little while at least, it did show that our technology is worthy. I think because of that Stablecoin Act, we didn't see the Treasury holding all that Bitcoin. It's supposed to start stockpiling Bitcoin because it did the Stablecoin Act. I think that helped them. I'll go to the next slide if you want. Yeah. Digital identity. Yeah, you shouldn't have to give your identity. Your identity should be held in escrow or encrypted somewhere in a container, and only if and when, you know, there's a body in your hotel room or something bad can they unlock, you know, with a court order, the container to find out who you are. Why do they have to know who you are all the time. You didn't do anything. If something happens, maybe they should be able to unlock who you are. I mean, that's the most KYC I would believe in. Real estate, everyone's doing real world assets and real estate tokenization. And you know what? It's going to be a doozy because there are no county centers that are based on blockchain and stuff. It's got to be shares of a corporation that have been minted on the blockchain, like the laws in Wyoming, and then the real estate's owned by the corporation, because right now there's no blockchain ready hall of records for deeds. Doesn't exist, and it's going to take a long time to exist. There's going to be a lot of scams. People bought NFTs thinking there were apartments in Thailand. All bullshit. So if you have a corporation and you build, and it's from Wyoming, and it has the smart contract address in the name of the corporation, and the shares were minted only on the Ethereum blockchain, or whatever blockchain you said it was going to be on, and you own 100% of that mint, then you own 100% of the corporation that owns 100% of the deed. The deed's going to be recorded in the county center and everything, and then you're going to have the shares, and then maybe you sell the shares. There's a bunch of laws in different places, blah blah blah. But real estate is pretty easy to do, but you can't tokenize the deed. Maybe the first place you could do it is in Ukraine, but I'm not sure. It's a big job. You already have the paper records. You could keep doing the paper records. I think you got to just sell. Oh my God. Are we still here? Get this guy calling. Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Yes. We can hear you. You just cannot hear me while I'm not on the stage. So yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, very good. Because then when I had this, so if someone, all right, no problem.
I'm removing myself from the stage. So yeah, the stage is yours.
Yeah, no, I lost it. I have too many windows open, guys. What am I going to do? It's the ADHD. I've had it since the 70s. We didn't have medicine. Now, let's see this slide. Oh, no.
All right, let me.
Hold on. Okay, I know where I'm. I'm on 8. Now I go to this one. Next slide.
Next, yeah, okay, 9.
Financial crimes, blah, blah, blah. Next. I don't want to talk about that one. You got the 10th slide here, path forward. Yeah, it's a call to action. It's up to us. Everything's up to us. You know, if you're waiting for someone, you're in big trouble because there's no one, you know, it's the technologists. You're waiting for some company, you know, these companies, their motivation's a little different. A lot of us, we want to see the right thing happen. We're not as motivated to like be pirates and take whatever we can. A lot of us just want to see what we build work. That one of the most exciting things and is accomplishment. One of the most beautiful things is to experience your accomplishment as for excitement, because it's not just money. I mean, money should show up as a byproduct, not it shouldn't be the only product, right? The endorphins come from, you know, seeing something you build work. So I call upon everyone to find these problems that are around and make them work, and fix something, build something, and make it work. I mean, that's what we do, I think, as technologists and problem solvers. And it's a very exciting life. You get to see what you build so quickly nowadays, especially. You know, you can build much faster, and it's an incredible thing, that incredible time we're in, and I'm just happy to be a small part of it. I think this is an incredible test bed to show the world that we can fix the woes of Ukraine and all the concerns that everyone has and all the bullshit, fake news, and, because like I said before transparency, it was all just bullshit. It's just like someone in a company saying, oh, we should do this, we should do that, blah, blah, blah. I go, where's your data? Where did you come up with this shit? You have no data, and that's what it is. Without data, you can't have you can't have an informed decision. And as technologists, we can get the data. The data could be transparent from the blockchain and the economy that we create, and the motivation is going to be there for all to see. And the crypto economics are going to give us the path forward, and we're off to the races. So I think it's an incredible time. You guys picked a great profession, and the time is right, and the time is now. Yeah, you're going to get rich. Sure, you're going to get rich. But a lot of people, they think this is about getting rich. Then they want a Lambo. And, I said one time I was at the Futures Conference in 2019. And I said, oh, you guys want a Lambo? They're not going to let you drive. I said, you want a Lambo? They're not going to let you drive. I go, you want a house? They're not going to let you out. You want a big mansion? They're not going to let you outside of the mansion. You're not going to be able to leave the mansion. You're going to be locked in the mansion. Maybe they're going to give you 100 immigrants, migrant workers to live in there with you. I go, this is not what the technology is about. The technology is here to free us as humans to be able to live the life that we were promised by the Lord God. We're made in His image. We're not made to be running around like idiots, right? We're not made to be running around like idiots, picking up voodoo paper that some guys are printing these pieces of paper with dead people, and then we got to give them half back, or they put us in jail. It's their own paper. What do they want it back for? They print trillions of it. What's this? I don't understand the taxation stuff. They want me to burn my time. They don't want money back. They don't care. They print 30 trillion. They get 800 billion back in taxes. Who gives a shit? They're printing it. Why do we have to go and grab it and find it and go and give it back to them while we're sweating bullets? Because they want us dominated, and they want us not to have any time on our hands. And I just think we've been robbed. So I want everyone to come out of the trance that they're put in. We got to wake up and fight this monetary revolution. It's a peaceful revolution. It's a monetary revolution. It's a technological revolution. And you guys are the George Washingtons of this revolution over here. And let's get together and see what we can build and try to free not try, but actually this time free humanity, not just for us, but, for the people to come, our kids, our grandkids, our brothers and sisters, kids, all the way to the end of humanity. I don't know how long that's going to be. That's another story. But, like I always say, our ancestors are watching. They didn't have that chance that we have here. We have everything at our fingertips to change the world. And I wish positivity on us and allow us the lens to see what we're about to do. Because let's say all these years go by, we don't do anything, and all these years go by, and we're sitting in some kind of cubicle that we live in, and I don't know, work in or something, that we just live in a box, and the robots are like controlling us, and someone's controlling the robots, and we're just sitting there being mentally tortured. And for years, I mean, you got to look back from that future, possible future, and ask yourself, how good do you have it now? From that possible future, if you're in that future, what would you give to be back here now to be able to affect change? And how would you use every moment and squeeze every moment to be able to affect that change. That's pretty much all I have to say right now.
Well, thank you so much, Nick. It is
Thank you, sir.
always insightful, always. And your presentation is a very big contrast to the type of information we're having here. And yet, you are more like a hands-on experience, and so some of these are theoretical concepts, some of this. So it is very good to hear from you always. And thank you for all this good information. I don't know if we have time for the questions, because we actually were supposed to have like 30 minutes break, but probably we don't have it yet anymore, because the next speaker will soon start presenting. But yeah, always a pleasure. And yeah, thank you so much.
You.
Thank you for
Thank
presenting.
you, sir.